Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to episode 1 of the Cuphead show. Well, my reaction to it. This is our first poll series in a long ass time. And I say that because for those who may be newer to the channel or whatnot may not know, I used to do poll stuff in the past, but we stopped that a good long time ago, just for various reasons. But I decided to try bringing it back with our current setup, our current scheduling. Try bringing it back with one slot on the week, on the channel on the week. You know what I mean. And see how it goes. So you guys in our first poll overwhelmingly voted for Cuphead. It was between that, Tiger and Bunny, and Treese, I think it's pronounced. I might be wrong on that. But you guys overwhelmingly wanted the Cuphead show. And honestly, I understand that. This series spawns from a really, really popular indie game. And although I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this series, I have heard some mixed opinions. I've heard some people really love on it, really praise it, and honestly just defend it. But I've also seen some people hate on it and say that it just doesn't carry forth the spirit of the game. Now, I haven't seen any like notable spoilers or anything, but my opinion on the entire thing with carrying forth the spirit of the game, obviously as an adaptation of any work, you're going to have some changes. When you adapt any sort of medium, whether it be manga to anime, a book to movie, or a video game to a series like this, there's got to be changes to fit the new medium. It can't work in the same way. It can't work in the same context because the mediums are separated. The way the story is told, the way the characters are portrayed and everything within the context of the game is created and paced and worked out for the game, for the context of the fact that you as a player are also engaging in it and playing it. That doesn't work when you have a series or something else like that. You have to redo the story, tweak it to fit the model of a TV series instead. That's just how things go. You have to have it fit properly in terms of time. You have to have pacing. You have to have things happen. Plus, anytime anything is adapted, there are going to be some changes to a lot of things, including characters and story and everything. That's just how it goes. Now, I'm not saying that this is automatically good or bad. I want to make that clear. I'm going into this with an open mind. I'm not going to prejudge it because I don't like doing that. I feel like that is a bad way to go into anything. But I'm willing to give it a chance for sure. And honestly, this is one of those shows that I feel like I'll probably like. Because that's kind of what I'm doing for the poll series. I'm trying to focus on shows that I think I'll probably end up enjoying, even if I don't know for sure. But I'm very much interested to see what this can do, because I did enjoy the game. I didn't actually complete it myself. I got most of the way through it, but I ended up getting stuck, and I could not get past a certain point. And it just kept getting me angrier and angrier, and eventually I just had to call it. I had to call it because it was just affecting my mental health too much. And so I just chose to watch the rest of it via Let's Plays. So I have seen how the entire game goes, and I do know the main gist of the story, obviously. I assume it's going to be mostly the same. But yeah, I'm definitely... I definitely want to see what this is like. Because, again, I've heard some differing viewpoints. I've heard some people complain about it. Some people defend it and all that. And I want to form my own opinion, see what it is like to me. And again, I don't expect it to be exactly like the game, because I understand that switching mediums, it can't be. But I will determine my own feelings based on my experience and my enjoyment of what is obviously going to be a very comedic based series. I don't know if this is episodic or if it's serialized. I assume it's serialized, but it could very well be episodic. I also don't know offhand any of the voice actors that are in this. I mean, I don't know who's in it, so I don't know if I know any of the voice actors in it. I don't know like who voices Cuphead or Mugman or the Devil or Miss Chalice. The only one I do actually know, is King Dice. I know he's voiced by Wayne Brady. That's the only one I know, and it's because it's like, that was kind of a big selling point with the trailers and everything, like making a point of how Wayne Brady is starring in this as King Dice. And it's like, I like Wayne Brady. I grew up watching Who's Line and stuff, and seeing him in some other things here and there. But yeah, it's like, I'm not going to judge it based on the star power or anything either. I very much have to see it for myself. Star power is cool and all, but even shows with great star power could easily be bad. So, we'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna check this out, give it our thoughts, and hopefully enjoy it. I'm definitely excited though. To see how much of the spirit of the games this does capture, and just how much of the spirit of, what the games are initially based on, with the Fleischer style rubber hose animation and all. But we'll see. Either way, let us just get this started and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I can already see, I guess, maybe some of the reasons why people might have been complaining. There's definitely some differences comparative to the game. I think like the way that the souls are owed and everything like that is just different in general, and I various other things about how the story begins and all. But again, that's kind of something you have to do in regards to this kind of thing, to adapting this to a series, so that's fine. My big takeaway from this is that this genuinely felt like a classic cartoon. Outside of the obviously upgraded animation and just visuals in general, the feeling of this gave off very classic Fleischer cartoons, merry melodies, all that kind of stuff. The kind of classic cartoons you think about watching, stuff like Betty Boop even. This very much gives off that same feeling. From the pacing to the way everything moves about, even music being included in it, the way the characters act and respond to situations. Even a lot of the background characters you see throughout the episode very much look like they belong in some of those older cartoons, whether from Disney or Fleischer or whatnot, etc., etc. And I like that. I really like that. I really think it fits with what, the game initially was inspired by. I feel like the movements of the characters aren't as rubber hosey as they could be, but that's not a big deal at all. The voice acting, I could completely see if someone said the voice acting in this was really annoying. I could see that. I don't think it is, though, because I feel like it captures the feel of, again, a lot of those older cartoons. And mind you, a lot of those older cartoons didn't have a lot of actual voice acting in them. They had, like, the characters would make noises and grunts and maybe some yells every now and again, but they didn't really talk too often in a lot of them, depending on how far you go back and which cartoons and everything. Sometimes you'd hear maybe like the character sing, but that's about it. Like, there wouldn't be active dialogue. But still, the things they're saying, the way they're saying, the script, the dialogue, every way it's written in here feels like one of those cartoons still. The humor fits. It's very much hitting the mark in what it's trying to do. And as I said in the reaction, the devil kind of reminds me of him from the Powerpuff Girls. He's flamboyant. He's very flamboyant, but he can also be intimidating. He's a ridiculous goofball who can get distracted at times, but also is out to get his mortal enemies. In this case, his new enemies are now Cuphead and Mugman, especially Cuphead. And we see in the Powerpuff Girls that with him, it's obviously the girls. So yeah, I like that, because him was always my favorite Powerpuff Girls villain, so I like that the devil kind of gives me those vibes in this. Mugman kind of being kind of taking the butt of the jokes and everything, and being clearly a second fiddle to Cuphead is a little weird to me, because it never felt like that in the games. In the games, it felt like Mugman was just the player 2 character, but they kind of felt like they had equal standing in a regard. Like, Mugman didn't necessarily feel like this butt of the joke character. That's not how he came across in the game to me. So in this, the fact that he is just made to be that way just because, Cuphead's the titular character and everything, it's a little bit much. But I think I'm okay with it for now. We'll see how it goes. It could be done worse. Not too much actually happened in the actual episode here. Basically, Cuphead and Mugman are bored. They're tired of doing these mundane chores. So Cuphead gets the idea to go to the carnival. They go, they have fun, they get up to shenanigans, and then Cuphead becomes obsessed with this, basically, oh god, what is it called? My mind went to foosball, and it's like, I know that's fucking not it, because I know what foosball is. Oh my god. This is going to completely distract me if I don't find it out now, because I know what they're called. Growing up, I would play them at, like, Chuck E. Cheese and Caesarland and stuff. Skee-ball, that's it. I didn't even end up getting the browser up in time, but I just thought of it. But yeah, it's basically skee-ball. It's called, like, soul ball or something, but yeah, it's skee-ball. And there's, I guess, one loser spot on it, but everything else is a winner, but Cuphead only ever gets it in one of the slots, so it's like, okay. What if he got in one of the other ones besides the loser one? Like, what would happen then? It's not really explained there. But it's not a big deal. He keeps rolling or shooting the ball, keeps getting it in. The only time he gets the loser is when Mugman interferes after the devil's already come up. Because the devil is collecting souls using the carnival, and once they stop coming in, he realizes something's wrong. He goes up and finds out that everyone is just distracted by Cuphead playing this one game and continuously winning, so, nothing is actually continuing to happen there. He takes the opportunity, and with the distraction, Cuphead ends up losing, but Mugman keeps his soul from being taken away, and the devil chases them around before they eventually escape. But Cuphead technically owes the devil his soul now, and yeah, this is kind of where the story is going. So there's 12 episodes of this. If they're all around the same length, without credits, that's about 10 to 11 minutes, I think. So that's really not bad at all. That's pretty much regular length for a half-length episode. So I might be able to just do these, like, maybe even 2 episodes at a time or whatnot. We'll see. In which case, it wouldn't take any time at all to get through these. We'll see how it goes, just depending on how I'm feeling and other reaction recording and everything I have to get through. But yeah, I actually very much enjoyed this first episode. I was going into this with an open mind, but I admit the fact that this has been pretty divisive had worried me a little. I was worried that, like, maybe something about it would like bother me too much or annoy me too much or something. But no, I actually really thought this handled things well. I'm definitely excited to see King Dice down the line. Maybe some of the villains and enemies that we know from the games and stuff, like the big green dragon and the mermaid girl, who I think is in the opening. So yeah, I think some of them at least are in the opening. The opening, let's talk about that. I wasn't a fan of that. That was the only thing in this, I think, that I actually really was not a fan of. I just don't think it's that good or entertaining. It's not fun to listen to. It's just it's chaos, basically. It's just a bunch of chaotic imagery and music, and it's like, yeah, I guess it kind of works, but it's like it doesn't even feel like it fits the tone of the series that much to me. Maybe that's just me, but this is probably an opening I'll be skipping for the most part. But if it's just the opening that's the issue here, I can live with that. So this was our first poll show back. Our first reaction to our first poll show back, I should say. And it was a very good first impression for this series. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of the first episode of the Cuphead show? Let me know down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.